Hello everyone, it's a beautiful Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely co-host here. Hi ladies.
Hi Mariah.
Hello,
Mike
Mariah.
into building.
Yo, 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 yo.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Let me talk like Uwa and Jumoke. I'm fine.
I saw that you can talk like that.
It's been a very
Oh my God, it doesn't fit you. Be
eventful,
natural yourself.
week. The weekend. I had an amazing time.
Ah, okay, that's not me.
That's I'll catch you, I think. How you doing? Any gist for us? 24 hours.
No, just to Jerry. I had an amazing.
Let me jump to Nima. Hi there.
I want you there.
Good morning, Mariah. This morning I got to K2 just after the Owando filling station, and there was this traffic that started, and we were stuck in that traffic for 40 minutes.
Wow. That same traffic you got in?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
But what I saw, the cause of it was a falling electrical pole.
But it's terrible. Like these
truck.
days, it's like they always talk about ember months and everything, but this one is really showing ember months character. Every single week, every other day.
The way
Either
Nigerians
accident,
drive.
traffic. It's just crazy. Why didn't it happen months ago? This October. It's terrible. This year's one.
But
we have to be very
for
careful.
the quick response of the officials. They were
Lasema,
there.
FR,
RRS was with them.
Lasma,
So
the ambulance, all of them were there.
Oh, fantastic. Lagos is
You know,
working.
if you had left
Lagos is
home early,
Yeah,
you wouldn't
yeah.
have been stuck in it.
That's
Yeah. Guess what? I came with the TVC staff. He was going to pass the under bridge to turn up, to come into Magodo. I went to Ogudu. I still saw him in that traffic when I was coming back.
Yikes. Anyways,
Good. Me, I've been trying to eat healthy since we had Dr. Yemisi on the show. I have a company that supplies fresh fruits and
That's true.
and salads, fruits and vegetables. So I'm trying to eat healthy.
Yeah.
But I realized that I'm putting on more weight regardless of that. So today, I'm dragging all of you. We're going to see Dr. Yemisi for our diabetes
that's
screening.
true. I forgot that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be after the shoot. So I'm dragging everybody
No, we
there.
can't do it because we've had nuts.
Okay.
You know, you're not supposed to
you're
eat
supposed
anything.
to come fasting. It's true.
So yeah, anyone eligible
have
to
you
do.
eaten anything?
No.
All right.
Yes, we can go.
We have to talk about the news mentioned. The Ladoke Akintola University of Technology has been on indefinite strike for months now. The students have since been crying out to the government to do something about it. We'll get more information on this and we'll talk about it maybe sometime during the week or even see how it goes. But I've been getting tweets, messages that we must tell people out there that Lautech is, they've been shut down. I wonder, did you guys hear anything?
Yeah, tweets also, they keep on attaching me to tweets saying that we should talk about it. The federal government isn't doing anything, the state government isn't doing anything, and their school is shut.
Where, which school is that?
Ladoke
Akintola.
We'll take more information about it and hopefully talk about it and get maybe officials from that school to help, and even the government to let us know what's going on. All right, let's take a break now. When we come back, we'll look at the front pages of the newspaper. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Welcome back. We're going to start with Punch this morning. 23 billion naira Diazani bribe EFCC to charge 100 electoral officials. Picture here of the plane crash that happened in Brazil. About 81, I'm told, read it and perished in that crash. They include key players and journalists. Egba chief arraigned for defrauding Obasanjo's firm. Lagos plans 813 billion budget for 2017. Senate okays Buhari's 180 billion environment request and adds 33 billion. I approve DSS raids. Judges arrest, says AGF, that's the Attorney General Federation. Power generation at Egmi sinks by 84% to 172 megawatts. That's terrible. An ex-minister, Musili Obanikoro, returns 134 million to federal government. $1 billion spent on kerosene subsidy in 2015, says Osinbajo. And sheriff risks imprisonment, says McCarthy's faction. All right, yes.
Did you read the Egbin story?
Yes, I read it. It just shut down. I'm not even sure what happened. They shut down. Gas. Exactly. They couldn't supply gas. That was the issue.
Their problem since.
Yeah. I know one of the spokesperson was at the breakfast show this morning. I didn't really hear what his excuse were, but we need to follow up on that story because I don't even have electricity. My entire neighborhood is shut down. And Egmi it's almost the biggest power plant actually. Yeah. So they shut down on Egmi. It's almost like a blackout.
We have 4,000 megawatts. We need 100,000. So see how far away we are from what we have. And so for it to be shutting down again,
I think it was about 3,000 or something, or 1,000 something that they were. Now 84% of it is off. Yes, you're saying.
We are our own problem because we are the ones
bombing the pipelines
to the extent that now the federal government is thinking of buying crude oil that we have in abundance from another country to get to other refineries that are far from where we are bombing.
They're not buying, they're just putting the pipeline now. They're just laying.
They're going to buy from
now. They're on Niger.
No, they're routing the pipeline through
gas
Niger.
that we have in abundance is what we need to buy.
They are buying from Niger.
All right.
We read the article. They were supposed to be buying from Niger and then pipeline to Kaduna. The Dezani story quickly. Over 100 INEC officials are going to be charged to court by EFCC. Acting EFCC chair Ibrahim Magu is going to decide tomorrow. They're saying that a few of them will escape prosecution because they've returned about 400 million naira from the Dezani stash of about $115 billion for elections in 2015.
That's crazy. And I was listening to the radio today. I can't remember what they talked about. Giving a breakdown of what the money stashed away could have been used for for Nigerian, the average Nigerian. Hospitals, schools, roads, and this money that been started. I mean, something trillion naira that was taken.
Power. Just building another Egbin plant. Right.
Moving on to Daily Sun. Anger, shock, trail GSM tariff hike plot. It's our hot topic today, so we'll hold up on that. 2.2 million kids in the north suffer malnutrition. Police recruitment tears Senate apart. Court jail 16 for life over diesel or adulteration. Biafra federal government plotting to wipe out IPOB, wipe us out, says IPOB. Any stories here, Daily Sun? I know the Vice Presidency okayed DSS. Actually, the AGF was saying that he okayed the raid, saying that he was aware of the raid and he allowed that the NJC refused to react on the petition sent to them, and that's why he authorized.
That was why he appeared in front of the AGF committee.
It's still a little controversial, because I mean the AGF is part of the Nigeria Judicial Council, and so if he said that he authorized it, and some lawyers are saying that it was illegal to do that, it's a little controversial. And our lawyers have refused to talk.
They should tell us why. If it was illegal, they should tell us why it was illegal.
He's standing on the Constitution. I can't remember what section he was quoting, that they have powers to do whatever, use all the powers within them to eradicate.
They said they had the warrant. They got the warrant, and the law does not specify that you must
come at a particular time.
An arrest can be made at the scene of the crime.
But that is winching time.
1 a.m.
If it was one young guy doing internet fraud somewhere and they picked him up at 6 a.m., would you be complaining?
But 1 a.m.
Okay, let's move on.
At 1 a.m. They picked him up at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is not winching time.
Let's move on. Let's move on to Vanguard. I had wanted to pick up on the 2.2 million kids stuff because it connects to what the First Lady was saying, that region in the north we need a lot of desperate attention because a lot of kids suffering malnutrition. But the question is, why do we still have kids? Can they have family planning, or must they always have kids? Even
YK has a theory supporting that the poverty level, the only entertainment that the poor man has.
Because they keep having kids.
Yasikira, I don't have TV, I don't have lights, I don't have anything. The only person I can turn to for solace is Yasikira.
What Mara is trying to say,
and Yasikira will deliver in 9 months.
In Lagos, for instance, family planning is free in all clinics.
Exactly.
The government has seen to it that you have no business having kids you cannot take care of. So the reason why you have business kids that you cannot is probably because you were not properly properly informed.
Obviously, they don't have family
They
planning.
don't even have health care.
They don't have health care. So
Moving on to Vanguard very quickly. 1 trillion shortfall.
them.
Senate probes revenue agencies. Ambode presents 813 billion naira 2017 budget. DSS sting operation in Judges. I am satisfied, says AGF. With federal government spend $1 billion on kerosene subsidy in 2015, says Oshimbajo. Jumoke, you have the budget story? Which one? Ambode. Which story do you have here?
Did I read
the kerosene subsidy story.
Yes, go ahead.
I read the vice president was saying that in 2015 they spent what's the amount of money again?
$1 billion.
$1 billion on kerosene subsidy. The House was looking into it and they found out that not the cost of kerosene at the point of sale, after all the cost has been covered, is about 300 naira per litre. So, you know, it's costing the federal government a lot of money. And I thought the subsidy on kerosene had been taken off since. But from the story, I found that they've actually been paying subsidy on it.
Can I ask?
And then the House of Reps is also saying that they should drop the price of PMS to 70 naira. And why reading the story, I was looking for what criteria they would use to get to this.
Because
amount, but I
forex is
couldn't
still
find
high.
it.
You know?
Can I ask this question? Since he's telling us about the price of the kerosene, are they telling us they want to remove subsidy?
No, he just what I read in that article. He was just saying that we need to find a way to get the liquefied gas to be domesticated. Then everybody have access to it, so that because kerosene in itself is causing healthcare issues because people are falling sick because most families use kerosene. So they are even trying to take us off it and then move to the LP. The liquefied petroleum gas to be used in domestic.
I was listening to one of the guests on Radio Continental, and he was talking about getting people to cook right. You know, this is not just talk. They can't just hold a talk shop over.
Exactly.
They should probably get maybe the cost of the cooking gas, the cooking gas set, whatever, what is it called? Make it cheaper.
One of the issues he raised in that,
one
of the issues he raised is that federal government is still importing, at least as of 2015, they still imported 40% of the gas that we have
in excess. Flaring.
So they're even trying to ensure that we don't even have to import it anymore. Let everybody start using gas. That's why.
You see, that is action. Action speaks louder than words. If these things are implemented, we will not be complaining.
Just talk shops.
You know, there is no. Don't keep telling me you spent 1 billion on kerosene subsidy, because that means in 2016 you spend the same thing, and you're going to spend the same thing in 2017, and you just be telling us act, man.
Our final paper is The Nation this morning, and that's McAfee sheriff issue, jailed threats against each other. Senate raises Buhari's 2016 environment by 33 billion. I wanted to read that story. And Brazilian footballers among 76 killed in plane crash. That's the picture of the crash here. Pretty sad story.
Yeah, I mean, they're so I think they found 4 people alive. Yeah.
I think 6.
I knew there were a few survivors.
Oh, wow.
You see, so President Buhari sent a environment of 180 billion to the Senate to augment key infrastructure that they had fallen short of for 2016. And then the Senate, after screening it properly, added an extra 33 billion, making it 200 and, I think, was it
204, something like
200 and something billion, saying that there were some other areas that needed proper funding. Well, the Senate seems to be doing their work.
You know, when it comes to money,
it's
not their work. When it comes to money issues, you know what I read, what I understood, that where you think you need 1 billion. No, actually, I think you need 200 and something billion, because there are some areas you didn't pick up that I feel that that we can actually get.
But Mariah, to give it to them, no, it's not.
It's not.
To give it to them, they have the oversight functions. They're supposed to see everything that the executive is not seeing. So if you say that we want to augment power, we want to build a new road, I say, so why are you not doing borehole in this other community? I'm going to add an extra amount.
What I read,
it's okay.
What Equity said is not constitutional. That what you should do is get a supplementary budget. That what the constitution allows you to do, rather than environment funds. You get a supplementary budget. I can be approved constitutionally.
But they approved it.
They have approved it.
And
they added
33 billion.
That's all we can take on front page review. Nothing really interesting today, actually. I was hoping for some juice. Let's take it. When we come back, Nigerians be prepared to pay more for data. Starting when? Tomorrow. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Yes, thanks for staying with us. The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, has directed mobile telephone operators in the country to jack up data tariffs with effective from December 1st. The directive is to enable small operators and new entrants remain profitable. According to the NCC, the new price floor for data services will now be 0.90 kobo
Yeah, per MB.
per megabyte
Yeah.
for big operators, stating that this rate will subsist pending the finalization of the subsidy on determination of cost. Anyway, by tomorrow, there's going to be an increments pretty much. According to people, even got text messages from MTN.
Yeah.
Now, what are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-8066-8014. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so you can read your tweets. Now, let me try to break it down, make our viewers understand what you're saying. What they're saying is that, for example, there's MTN, Glo, Etisalat, the whole works. And there's company X, company Y, company Z. And they're all providing data. And the cost is actually practically the same. So let's just imagine the cost is 100 naira. So to provide data, company X, Y, Z, MTN, blah, 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 is 100 naira to provide data to you. Now, company X, Y, and Z charge you, for example, 150 naira for data so that they can make a 50 naira profit, right?
Yeah.
That's it. But MTN, Glo, the big guys can charge you actually 30 naira. Or even 20 or even 10 kobo because they have volume. They have a huge number of people. So they'll still break even. They'll still make their money. But company X, Y, and Z don't have that kind of number. So to make it flat rates where we're all paying 150, MTN, Glo, the whole big guys, we are playing the same figure. So they're now going to be competing on quality of service, not so much on pricing anymore. Because a Glo, those guys can come out tomorrow and say, you can pay 0 kobo for this, you can get 1,000 naira data for this. And these guys here, so these companies will fold up. They have to send up their guys home. Then there'll be unemployment because they can't meet their profit margins.
But
so that's what NC is saying, that we're fighting for these guys to stay afloat so that more young people, more entrants can come into this industry and make money and be profitable. If not, you only these big guys have the monopoly.
This explanation, because you want company XYZ to stay in business,
Yes.
then MTN, Glo, Etisalat should start to profiteer.
Exactly.
Because if they can sell it at 20 naira, 30 naira and still make their profit, if they hike up their prices to 150 or more, they are making billions per second.
See, the thing
No,
is,
they're not even doing that. They're actually, no, well, yeah.
you go anywhere you go in the world, you travel anywhere in the world, you go to the airport, data is free. You go here, data is free. You walk into the park, they tell you this park.
We're not there yet now,
wait,
YK.
listen.
Even in Ghana.
Data is free. Now, all these small guys, it's either you can do it or you can't. Stay in your house. Don't come out. Because I use one of these small guys.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, their service is horrible.
They can't compete.
And they can't compete because they don't have the infrastructure. Wait. Now, if they start to bring down their prices,
more people will come to them.
And their service is better.
No.
Yes.
More people will come to them. Don't tell me because
They don't
of
have
them.
they don't have a level.
We,
They
the
don't
people will
have a proper
suffer.
level playing field right now. They don't, because you already subscribe to one of these 4 big guys.
I don't.
Well, most of us are subscribed to
All
either
of us.
Glo,
All of
MTN, Etisalat. We are subscribed to the big
All of
guys.
us are
These small guys can't make money because you are already.
Then they should pack up their load and go join.
If your brother is working there, he has because unemployed.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? You're now speaking with too much. You don't know. I don't get it.
Hold on a minute, YK. If you cannot compete, what we want is good service for Nigerians at the cheapest cost. Don't tell me because you want company A, B, and C to stay in business, then we must be paying extra for something that we can get cheaper. Wi-Fi should be free. We're paying so much already. You're not saying because you want your company to stay in business.
Sometimes I don't understand. Sometimes I don't understand what you Nigerians want. I get frustrated.
It's not fair.
No, I don't get it.
It's fair to the consumer.
No, 1 minute, hang in there, right? I'll let you come in. 1 minute you want the company, you're telling government that their job is to facilitate, right?
Yes.
To give you the level playing field to work, to be a successful entrepreneur.
Yes.
Then they bring in policies to make you a successful business person, and you're now saying, oh no,
that
what do you want as a Nigerian? Let me come in.
The NCC is our saving grace, because every businessman should be our saving grace. Every businessman go into business with the intention to make profits.
Okay.
No matter who's God, us is God. What NCC should be doing is regulating to see that Nigerians get quality service. These big guys don't even give quality service. Can NCC just, and they have the facilities to give us quality service. Can NCC make sure first that they are giving us, up to, top-notch service before they even talk about this? Now, these small guys that you're talking about, I use a small guy.
Yes.
And their service for me is like a 90%. I can give them a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
They're doing very well. That's in my house. The Wi-Fi that provides internet for for my house and my family. Now, if those small guys are doing well at the cost that they are suffering, can NCC do something? Not this kind of thing. What they're doing now is tilting the scale somehow, so that the big guys will be making more profit and these small guys continue to suffer to provide quality service at lower cost.
Excuse me, I used to use a small guy. I still use them. I used to use a small guy and I buried the big guys. But every time I want to use data, there was no service. I will be calling them. They will say, we are sorry. Okay, don't worry. Then they will now charge me. Well, look, one day I put 10 gigabytes. I don't do internet. I hardly do Twitter. I hardly do anything. I put 10 gigabytes, 9,000 on Saturday. I was not at home. I got home on Monday. Everything was finished. I said, what? I called them. So I said, look, I'm not even going to put any money on this thing until you explain to me. I'm still waiting for that explanation. All right. Listen, these are the small guys.
The big guys
that
did the same too.
Now, the big guys will not do it because on my phone, I will be calling WhatsApp, this, that. I will use that 1.5 for the whole month.
Okay, you're saying the same thing.
Listen.
When we say for the small guys to provide better service, they need revenue. How are they going to make money?
They are topping me.
Okay, let me come to Jumoke. Hang in there.
The big guys twice chopped my 16,000 naira. In fact, I had to carry lawyer there. I scattered the whole place. They gave me my data back. Madam no vex. They did it again in 3 months down the line. You load your credit. They say, and there's something that if you don't unsubscribe, something I didn't subscribe for, chopped all my data. In the house now, we're using one of the small guys. Why? Because it's cheaper.
Yes.
Now, if all of us have started moving to these small guys because they're cheaper, hold on. They may not have the infrastructure right now. But as they expand slowly, as all of us are moving from the big guys to them, they are eventually going to start to make money. Hold on, Morayo. Okay. Senator Ben Bruce yesterday fired the federal government and the NCC on this and said, in my opinion, rather than direct GSM firms to hike rates, NCC should invest in free public Wi-Fi for the advancement of knowledge in Nigeria. He also said, I will fight against this data in the Senate. The NCC as a regulator should be directing the GSM firms to reduce and not increase tariffs.
I want that.
Finally, he said, it is very unjust for people whose petrol, power, and GSM plans are paid for by the people to increase petrol, power, and GSM plans for the people.
All right, let me take this call. Let me take this call again. Thank you. Adewumi, I believe. Are you there? Adewumi.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning. I think what NCC wants to do is to ensure data penetration to everyone.
Exactly.
Okay. And so if they succeed in doing this now, maybe the next 1 year, they will need to, again, when another smaller guys wants to come in, we will ask to readjust so that Nigerians pay more. I think this is a paradox. I think NCC should look for guys who have money who can invest. Because when they lower, like when they lower their tariff, more people will come into the fora, and it will be good business for them. Why are they just behaving as if they are from somewhere else? It's simple. Just let the data be lower, then more people will come into there, and they can now have enough revenue to expand their infrastructure and compete. Is it somebody's business that they didn't come into the business when MTN and all of them started?
Okay, well, I don't know.
Have
I
you
don't
not
agree
heard-
with you guys. But
Have you not heard that less is more?
Oh.
You have
YK.
never heard that saying.
YK.
That listen. Sometimes as a woman, if you put on makeup and you plaster it,
You
you
look
will
like
look like a
masquerade.
masquerade.
Yes.
But if you just wear small,
Bow.
you will be fine.
That's
YK,
all right.
I'm always telling the makeup girls, don't plaster my face. They're always plastering my face.
YK, let me
Less is more.
let me bring in the issue of DSO. We're going to be switching over to this
Who
digital
is
switch.
DSO? District.
Digital switch over next year,
Yeah, next time,
2017,
please tell me
right?
the full meaning.
All right. So when that happens, everybody in Nigeria will have a box, right? That is affordable. I think the box is about 500 naira or 1,000 naira max. Every home. Now we're not going to be competing, or you now decide what
Which
you want.
one I want.
The providers will be competing on quality of service. No more on, oh, you have this decoder, you have that decoder. Same thing here. The idea is, let's have a level playing field. Now they're going to be competing on quality. So the small guys will ensure they have more bandwidth to provide you quality service.
Right.
Not that, oh, MTN has, and the issue of free Wi-Fi. That would happen when we go digital. When we now better, yes, let me let you come in.
Please,
So till they go to the wait, please.
YK.
So till they go digital, we the people should be suffering.
The issue of bandwidth
The
will
people
change.
with 18,000 naira salary.
The issue of
should
bandwidth
be
will
suffering.
change once it go digital.
Alright,
Let me
I
go
want
to
to
Jumoke
read
come in.
tweets, but I also have this conspiracy theory
Don't worry, I
that
will read
says
tweets
that
for you.
we are criticizing the federal government a lot on social media. They want to cut down on all those criticisms. So when data is so expensive, we will go and find something else to do. That's what they are doing.
Let me take this call from Moweri. Are you there? Hello? That's our last call.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ngozi, go ahead, please.
Yes. Are you guys at it again? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear Ngozi.
It's Ngozi.
Hello?
I think we lost that call, so we have to go on a quick break.
Sweet.
Let's take a
Can I
quick
just
tweet.
take
Yes,
it?
yeah.
Just two of them.
The reason HCS says the reason given by NCC is absurd. Whose interest is NCC established to protect? It's better we deactivate our data and strike hashtag your tariff, fuel pump price, virtually everything. FIRS Fowler is
All right,
behind
let me
this.
take it. Let's take a quick. When we come back, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll learn more about the Nigerian Civil War. We have an author in the studio. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Sam Omashe is one of the leading journalists in Nigeria and has practiced journalism in Nigeria and the United States. His career, spanning over 2 decades, has been distinguished with awards in Nigeria, US, and Canada. His latest book, My Name is Okoro, is an eye-opener about the perspective on the Civil War. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
This, you can call us on 070-806-6814. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC. The issue of the Civil War. A lot of young people today, we hear stories in bits and pieces. I know even various colonels have been writing books recently, giving us their own perspective, what happened, Chimamanda. Authors are writing concerning the Civil War because it's important that Nigerians know where we're coming from to know so we can know where we're going to. And I know you also had a personal experience
Yes.
based on the book. Could you tell us about your own experience in Civil War and help Nigerians today understand what happened, your experiences during that time, before we come to the book later?
Well, I was a little boy. I was in Lagos here. My experience was that one day my dad took me to have a haircut in Lagos. I think we were just about getting to the barber shop when there was this noise and commotion everywhere, and it looks like everybody was expecting that there was going to be a bombing. And so my father started running. He took me with him. He carried me. Then I think maybe I was too heavy for him. Dropped me and carried me again. And after a while, there was calm. But the most interesting experience for me was when we were at school. I was one of the schools at Yaba at that time. And suddenly there was commotion in school, and they said everybody should run. The teachers ran away. Everybody ran. That they said that there was the war had come to town. So we all went to the wall, and somebody helped push me over the wall, and then it was a bush. And then I started walking, and then I just didn't know where I was going. And suddenly I saw a man, and he asked me where I was going. I told him my street. I said, number 18 Ijaoye Street. And they said, Telemi. So I followed him, you know, with trust. And then I moved past some people who were skinning a snake. I said, oh, in this bush that I just, you know, and then skinning the snake, and then the man took me to my street, and I was home free. So that was.
How old were you?
Yeah.
How old were you then?
How old was I? Probably 7. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I wanted to ask because I had a little bit of experience too because I was in Lagos, but that was during Operation Wete. Did Operation Wete really tally with the war? Because I remember they were shooting outside our house. They were burning cars. So my grandmother had been in the World War II.
Yeah.
So she had us under tables and we were all shaking like leaves.
Well, Operation Wete was not a civil war. It had to do with the Western region crisis.
Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West. The Western region crisis was one of the explanations for the civil war. The collapse of the Western region itself led to one of the reasons that Nzogu and co fomented the coup. And when the coup took place, the Nzogu coup took place, they were first received everywhere in the country, and then questions started to come up about the composition, the ethnic composition of the coupists. And they said that a majority of them were Igbos. And then they said, well, they killed the Hausa Fulani participants, they killed the Yoruba people there, they didn't kill Irunsi, they didn't kill Tokpara, they didn't kill those from the east. Yes, and then the people started to say, well, maybe this was ethnically inspired. And then the pogrom began in the north when the Hausa started going after the Igbos.
So the emergence of the IPOB, the MASOB, is scary for people in the Niger Delta, not majorly Igbo communities, but when we talk about the Deltas, the Edos. I remember my parents and some of my uncles talking about their experience during the Civil War and how they picked them up thinking they were Igbos. That's why my grandparents will insist that you have a native name, an Esako name, so people know that you are not Igbo and we speak Esako. I learned my language living in Lagos because of such things, because of their experiences. But whenever I read a book today, no book talks about our experiences until I saw your book, I Am Okoro, and I felt, okay, this now explains to me what my parents were saying, because I couldn't reconcile the two stories I was hearing. Now, these new communities, these new groups that are growing up, they don't see this fear. Probably some of them didn't experience it. That's why we saw groups coming out to denounce and say, our community is not part of these people, so that in case you people start again, we don't, relive the experiences of our parents. Please, can you...
It is interesting what you said. When the program began in the north and the crisis, what we call the Nigerian crisis began, it was a matter of you're either Igbo or you're Yoruba in the north. And if you were not Yoruba, you were Igbo. It didn't matter whether you were Afema, it didn't matter whether you were Robo, whether you were anything. If your name did not fit into
a Yoruba name,
a Jumoke or Olamiji or anything like that, and he had that suspicion of any association with an Igbo name, you were a Ghana. That was why I wrote this book. I call it My Name is Okoro, because the word Okoro, the Okoro here is actually not an Igbo name. It's an Urobo name. And it's not called Okoro, it's called Okoro. So and then you even have an Edo version of it. Okolo. Yeah, no, even the same spelling. Somebody told me that it meant prince or something like that. In Edo. In Urobo, it means a man. That's what it means. And they have different kinds of nuances. But when you are in the middle of the crisis, you are tagged up as an Igbo man, and then you are killed. And then the narratives of the Civil War have not taken into consideration the experience of the minorities. The Civil War was fought and won in the minority areas. And yet, it is the narrative we get both in fiction and non-fiction. It's almost as though it is a war that is fought and won either in Igbo land or not. It's not. Most of the war was fought either in where we know as Edo, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Delta. Those were the places that a lot of the battle took place before they spilled over to Aba. And when it became hard fought in the east, it was coming to an end.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but when I was reading the research today, for me, I think that the federal government didn't do well because they killed a lot of innocent Igbo people,
Yes.
or Eastern region people, because there was genocide. They stopped food from going in, so children, women, men, people who were not involved with war were dying from starvation.
Yes.
So to me, I don't think they did well. And then I have this theory. Well, I learned this theory from sitting on the knees of my father. The way the white man divided us, and then when I got our research today and I read it, it confirmed it, because it says the landmass known today as Nigeria existed as a number of independent and sometimes hostile national states with linguistic and cultural differences. So already we were different. And to keep us forever fighting, they put all these people who are already culturally different together. We start living together as one nation.
Yeah.
And forever and ever, Yoruba will still be saying, Ajekuta Mamuni.
YK, there are countries that have very, very diverse cultures, and they're living together. There are lots of... They're
actually continents.
So it is possible... But let me let Jumoke jump in here
country?
concerning this.
Name one.
They're in Europe. There are in Turkey, for example. There are other places where there are different cultural backgrounds, there are lots of languages, and they're still...
Do you know the history of Turkey? Do you know what the Turkish people did to the Armenians?
But YK, this same theory, it went across West Africa, because they said even in Ghana, in Togo, the way their north and south were brought together, they have Hausas up north, they have Yorubas down south. So it's the same way they colonized, but they're living in peace. Now my question was going to...
Hang in there, YK. Let's come back to our guest. Yes, you're saying.
My question was going to be that I recently, because of IPOB and MASOB, researched the Biafran War a lot. I read Obasanjo's book on Ziogu. They were friends. And I also found out that it seemed like Ojukwu was for his people at the time, that, look, we don't have a part in this country. Let's go our separate ways. But because he abandoned them in the war and ran away, it then seemed like, was it really about the people or a personal vendetta? Do you agree?
It has been a very contentious part of history as to what Ojukwu's motives were. It is constructed in some narratives as a fight between Ojukwu and Gowon, and that Ojukwu did not want to accept Gowon as a superior officer, and that he was supposed to be the commander-in-chief, and that he was superior to Gowon in it. And so some people said that was the reason that spurred Ojukwu's resistance of the superior status given to Gowon. And some people have said there was nothing Ojukwu could have done at that time because of the pogrom that took place in the north. And that a lot of the Igbos were being killed, and they're being killed in droves. And because of that, Ojukwu had no choice but to declare Biafra. And so he did it. So it is still, it could be a combination of both. That Ojukwu did not want to accept Gowon, but if there was no pogrom, there was nothing, probably nothing Ojukwu would have done. But he left, Ojukwu left. Why did he run away? Ojukwu left because the war was over. And maybe some people say, well, they shouldn't capture the general. I mean, Hitler didn't allow himself to be captured.
We're going to go on a short break. When we come back, we'll not focus on My Name is Mr. Okoro, what it's about and why you decided to write this book. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. So we still have here Samamashe. Let's talk about my name is Okoro. Okoro. Why exactly did you decide to write this book?
I decided to write it because I had read so many books on the Nigerian Civil War. I discovered that most of them were written to tell the story of the Igbo experience specifically, or the federal experience. But the experience of the minorities have been very, very under-narrated. And there was need to tell the story about, one, the area of the pogrom, how it happened, and that many people who were in the north were killed, not only because they were Igbos, but because they believed that they looked like Igbos. And so there were a lot of people who were from the Midwest, who were from today's rivers or from today's Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Bayelsa, Edo, Delta, who were slaughtered. And some of them ran away, and so on. So that was the story, because if you read, for instance, Chimamanda's book, Half of a Yellow Sun, the program only killed Igbos. And that is not
that's half of the story.
It's half of the story.
Okay, let me take this call from Nicodemus from Ogun State. Are you there?
Yes.
Nicodemus, are you there?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
You're welcome. Hello.
We can hear you. You have 30 seconds. Please go ahead.
Okay. I want to ask our guest. Okay. When did the war take place? Hello?
We can hear you, Nicodemus. Please go ahead.
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you very clearly. Please go ahead. Okay, right.
Okay, so
I was going to ask him that, can you say there was a winner in this particular war that, we suffered? Because the Igbos eventually said, they still claim that they were just subdued. Do you understand? They don't see it like someone won the war. And the federal government is saying, we didn't fight this war to win. We're just trying to, ensure the sovereignty of Nigeria and stay united. The minorities where I'm from feel, like they've been cheated, they just suffered for nothing. They were not part of anybody's trouble, but they were brought in by force, by fire, because of where they found themselves. So was there, can we say we learned anything from this? Was there any winner in this war?
There was no winner. When the war started, nobody thought it was going to start. The one declared what they call the police action. They thought it was police action just to stop the rebellion. Then it turned out to be a war. And on the physical level, there was a devastation in the east. So there's no way. There was a surrender. There was a surrender. And much of the war, as you said earlier, there was a blockade. And so starvation, the war was more of starvation. Remember Awolowo, when he was finance minister, decided to change the currency. He said you cannot be feeding or energizing your enemy during war. So that was a master stroke. So they didn't have money, so it was starvation. And then there was blockade, there was a negotiation with Ojukwu that there should be a path so that they can supply, so supplies can get into the east and give food. And Ojukwu resisted it, maybe because he felt he couldn't trust the Red Cross or anything. But that was an issue. And people said, look, this is an international arrangement, let these people get food. But that's still an issue of contention today. But to tell you the truth, the war achieved nothing. Number one said, no victory, no vanquish.
Okay, let me take this call from Usman from Ikoyi. Are you there?
Yeah, Jiboke, how are you?
we are fine. Good morning, sir.
You see, when the war broke out, first, the coup by Ezeogu was not seen as being tribalistic until after certain individuals were eliminated. So when an assessment was taken, it was discovered that from one section, especially where he was coming from, no single individual was killed. It was at that point that the Northerners started seeing it as a selective and a tribal coup. And for the issue of Ojukwu running away, that's why I don't see him as a hero. A hero is supposed to stay,
True.
Because he believed in what he's pursuing, so he has to stay and die with his people. Hitler did not run away. Even when the war was, he did not run away. Hitler stayed and then killed himself. So he did not run away.
Nobody found him.
I expected Ojukwu not to run away, but he ran away and
Hitler
left
ran away.
in the midst of. At the end of the day, they have to surrender. So that's why I do not see Ojukwu as a hero.
Hitler ran away.
Let us come back to the book issue. What's the ripple effect of this, of the minority? What's the ripple effect of the war on the minority? What exactly today? What would you say is the ripple effect on the minority?
The minorities, even their voice, even up to today, has not been heard. That's the problem. And that's why we have this problem of militancy and all of that. It was all part of it. And there was also the problem of we call of Masop today. They had this man, what's his name now, who died during the Civil War, who started this issue of militancy. His name just escaped me now. He started it at that time. So the minorities still feel hemmed in. Their stories are not told. And you know, they have oil, you come, you take their oil and you leave, and you destroy their environment. So that's the same thing. The same thing happened during the Civil War. During the Civil War, you use their oil. The oil was very important. That's why Ojukwu wanted Port Harcourt, wanted rivers, wanted all those places. He wanted oil too. The federal government wanted oil. They fought and killed and did so many atrocities during the war. You read Alabi Sama's book. It was basically written about the areas of
but I think the war also made the Igbos the most enterprising that we have in Nigeria today, because the Igbos, they make their own cars, their own shoes, they make everything.
And they have food there, vegetables, because they started eating all sorts of grass.
I believe that it also helped the Igbos become a very independent
but what have we then learned from the war? Because IPOB and Masob are, gunning for it again. Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, and they're saying they still want their Biafra. Now, we lost over 2 million lives needlessly, a needless war. So what have we learned from that? What can the youth take away from that experience?
No war.
When the war ended, the one said no victor and
no
vanquish. The thing is that in policies after policies, in governments after government, we have not created a template for equity. And until we do that, we're going to have those people come out and cry.
So what's the one thing we're going to get from this book when we read it?
Well, when you get the story of humanity, even in spite of brutality. And you tell the story of how one man fought for the pride of himself. And you also have a number of love stories here. I thought I'll have time to read some portions. But then love stories here. Love in the time of war. Love. So there's a lot of stories there, but it tells you the futility of war.
Right. Thank you so much.
May I take one to it? Sure. Reverend says, till date, what caused the civil war has not been addressed, and today we are divided the more.
Okay, I think we can end on that.
Very good.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
That's all we can take on the show today. Don't forget the CBS Family Fun Fair will commence Tuesday, December 6th till the 26th of December. It promises to be so much fun and exciting. Please come with your friends, families, and loved ones. It's a wrap on the show today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Very true.